I watched Mark Zuckerberg's Harvard's commencement speech, and he was just start. I mean, he was like, I didn't think Facebook was going to be big, or I mean, I can't get a bunch of people to do something, but he said just start, and I resonated because that would be something I would tell my younger self. Just do it. Just do anything activity. I think with anything, it doesn't have to be entrepreneur. Just do it because you might regret it, and I think. But sometimes when you just start doing it, no one knows what you're gonna do. I mean, we started with restaurants. We didn't even barely had an idea, and we just kept going, and then it transformed to CPGs. And probably in 6 months, we'll be more knowledgeable about something and go even deeper into it. So I think, yeah, I would say just start is my
Stop waiting.
Yeah,
and get after
100%.
it.
The most effective way to do something is to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
This is the Startup Junkies podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Startup Junkies podcast. Thank you for tuning in, however and wherever you're tuning in from. My name is Daniel Kuntz, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Caleb Talley. Caleb, how are we doing today?
It's a wonderful Friday in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, this is a couple podcasts in a row. You've been rocking the USA gear.
Yeah, well, it's game day.
It's game day.
Yeah.
Are we going to win?
No, I don't know.
We'll see. Who knows? Well,
It's every 4 years I pretend to care.
yeah, every 4 years. We're big football fans. Well, today we're joined by a couple of our new friends. We've got Homero Ruiz and Alexis Rodas from Foreko. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah,
doing pretty good.
thank you guys for coming and joining us on the show. So to start off, tell the audience, what is...
Yeah, Foreko is the AI operating system for consumer packaged goods suppliers and e-commerce, or really anything that has to do with procurement. I mean, any physical good, we want to be able to provide procurement for that, essentially.
Yeah. Well, we'll dive in and ask you guys some more questions about the brand. But before that, we want to know about the faces behind the brand, as our boss Jeff likes to call the Marvel origin story for each of you guys. Homero, we can start with you. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown up here in Springdale, Arkansas. Went to Harbor High School, so I've been around the area. I've lived in Brazil. I lived in Mexico. I mean, I'm from Mexico. My dad worked for Tyson, so that's why I've been in the area for so long. And so I've been in like this space of logistics, engineering. And then I took a chance at the U of A on a full ride and went to computer science and worked for Red Bull for a couple of years, worked at Benton Lane as a software engineer, worked at SAS. So I think I have some pretty good experience in terms of logistics at Red Bull and then, actual software engineering. So that's why we'd start with Foreko.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a pretty diverse background right there.
For sure. I think that's what our three founders are pretty diversified.
Yeah. Well, we'll kick it to you, Alexis. Hit us with your background.
Yeah, for sure. So Homero and I have known each other for a while now. Like Homero, I'm born and raised here in Arkansas, in Springdale specifically. My family, we're from El Salvador. Immigrated here back in the 90s, California. So I'm a huge Raiders fan. But went to the U of A, obviously. Just graduated with a degree.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And in supply chain and information systems. During my time there, I had some experience kind of like on the CPG side with Pepsi, and then private label company called FGF Brands. They're Walmart's biggest baked goods supplier. It's pretty cool. You ever walk inside a Walmart, see like market side on your muffins or sliced cakes? Shout out FGF Brands.
Yes.
They're a pretty cool company. They taught me a lot. Other than that, yeah, man. Started own like commercial cleaning business when I was 18 with my family. Scaled it from just us 3 employees to now like 14 employees and plus 15 accounts. So I'd like to say that's kind of where the whole entrepreneur journey started.
That's awesome. It's pretty diverse background, as Daniel mentioned, but like you've kind of along the way kind of collected your like almost infinity stones of entrepreneurship, go back to the Marvel analogy, of getting those experiences and those like just little knowledge nuggets that I'm imagining you are applying to what you're building now. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, coming from knowing the area we're working in kind of plays a big difference. And then also the area we've grown up in is kind of really helpful. I mean, talking to my dad's friends, knowing what problems in the supply chain, I think that's why we were super interested in the procurement space, because it seems like from even my time at Red Bull, and Alexis can talk, it's really, well, we'll get into it, but it's really the retailer data or even gas stations, whatever, your sales data, and then pretty much procurement is done on spreadsheets. I mean, 76% of procurement teams are on spreadsheets still, and then we're trying to really attack that issue, and I think that's why we have a diverse of experiences. I mean, I'll talk, Pedro's not here, but he's our third co-founder. He went to Harvard. Also, I've known him for years, since I was 5 years old, and he's worked at Google, JB Hunt, so he has that other software engineer background, so that's why we really know we can tackle this specific issue.
Yeah, Pedro is a dog.
Shout out Pedro.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to like these infinity stones that you collected, I mean, my time at Pepsi was super similar to his time at Red Bull. Like we noticed these, and imagine if these conglomerates kind of still operating on these same systems, just imagine like, you know, the middle market, right? These are like huge companies. They're Fortune 50 companies, right? So it was pretty special to come from a position there, see the opportunity Foreko had, and then just being able to tackle it every day.
So when you guys started the company, did you guys start with like, hey, we're a group of friends, let's start a company? Or did you see the problem and say, we need to fix this and kind of build from there?
Yeah, I would say we saw the problem first. I mean, I think we saw, obviously, it was a problem. We all faced it. So, and then I think we started sort of having an idea. Let's start a company or do something like that. And then we just started brainstorming. And then we went into restaurants first to let's solve something small, try to see if we can actually do it, build an actual team. And we started restaurants, got to 100 people on the wait list. And then a guy came up to us after a pitch competition and was like, y'all are missing out. Like, good idea, good restaurant. I mean, we made to top 10% of A16Z, YC, doing the restaurant idea. But he was like, you can go even further with CPGs. They're bigger scale. You know, are you going to talk to 5,000 restaurants just cold approaching? And we're like, no. So you'd rather just do a CPG somewhere where you have actual expertise, and there's 1,400 CPGs here in the North.
Yes, this is like the prime location for that.
Yeah, the Silicon Valley supply chain, that's what people have been saying here.
People have been saying that, I think. But yeah, kind of like to your point, do you start from like back to forward to backwards, starting at the consumer level, or starting at like the high level business? Have y'all seen that Steve Jobs video? He's quoting, he's like, does this consumer like have a problem? Like, is this even a problem that they know they have? And work your way from there, and we'll build the tech based off that, not build the tech out and then ship it out to consumers who may or may not even want
a solution in search of a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I think it's super unique. I mean, obviously, you're now kind of tailored towards what it sounds like CPG, bigger companies.
Yeah.
But you started off pretty small, just having the conversations with restaurants, right?
Yeah.
Can you kind of tell us about the problem or that process of just those beginning phases?
Yeah, I mean, it was super interesting. I mean, we started just with the landing page and just, we were like, let's just go talk to people. And restaurants were also, I'm just doing on spreadsheets. For restaurants, there was two pushbacks. It was, we realized restaurants have really tight margins. And then from the investor side, Square and Toast will destroy you. That's what they would say. So that's something we started taking into account. First, we got to listen to customers, but also listen to investors and see what bigger players are there and where we fit in into this thing. So that's why we decided to pivot, because it made sense. And I think those early times with the restaurants kind of helped us, because we saw talking to customers, seeing what build features fast. And now that we have actual customers and paying ones, it's a huge difference to, we do listen to them, but also we have to know what to stick by. So it's kind of like a different stage we're at now.
Yeah, and also I think it's pretty important to note that the reason why we started in restaurants, Mero's dad owned a food truck here in the area locally, and he would run into like stockouts at this food truck that would then, you in turn have to turn down, customers that are coming and looking for a specific product. So that's kind of where it stemmed from. And then having that kind of light bulb moment with the conversation with the fellow at the event, you're just like, okay, you're really sitting on a gold mine here.
So it's really been kind of problem identification the entire time, whether that's just identified through the experience you've had, but then identifying the problem directly from the proximity of your dad in that situation. It's like problem equals opportunity across the board.
We've even tried to build like products, like I think agents is the big one right now. And we were like, why don't we just automate completely procurement? Let's try that. And then we just started talking to even more supply chain people, our advisors, and they were like, that's just unrealistic, because you have to talk, let's say a bigger company, you have to talk to Walmart constantly to, I mean, they decide how much you want. Yeah. And then you also have to talk to your manufacturing. How much supply do they have? Lead time. Is there tariffs going on? Different things like that just simply can't be automated. So that's why we're really trying to be an operating system to make everything as easy as possible. And our whole goal is to give the right tools to decision makers so they just have those conversations instead of doing the work to have those conversations. That's kind of our end goal. But yes, every feature we have is problem based, and we talk to our clients, and I mean, we even just started talking about LTOs, which is like limited time offers. Like big companies always have that. We were at an event yesterday, and they were talking about how our craft has to prepare for the World Cup and then the LTO. So we're going to take that to our customers and be like, okay, you might have a limited time offer. Let's plan for that, and how will that affect your business? So that's a new feature we're going to add to our application. So, and that's problem based. So we didn't think of it.
And those nuances baked in, like the LTOs and the potential for tariffs and all of these things that kind of fluctuate the market and the opportunities to get a shift around. Makes a lot of sense. Tell me a little bit about kind of the birth of Foreko in a space. I know y'all were students at the University of Arkansas, so a lot of this was built during your time at the university or outside of that?
Yeah, yes, sir. I mean, it was kind of started last summer, so we had a summer, and then, like I mentioned, I just graduated, so my whole senior year was thankfully a little lax, especially that spring semester. So being able to, set a lot of time aside for Foreko and actually being able to work on it full time. Yeah. And I mean, the University of Arkansas is the #1 program for supply chain. That never hurts.
Supply chain, right? You know
what I mean. Yeah. So definitely everything that you're able to learn from there and implement it into our business was just, I mean, it's tremendous. You can't really put value on that. Like a lot of these professors are coming from Walmart. So being able to like actually have not insider info, but like being able to know the meat and bones.
Right. Some warm introductions.
100%.
Firsthand, yeah. I think we met at a pitch competition at the university. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about like what that's like to be able to kind of build within that environment as opposed to kind of out independent of that level of resource and connectivity and advisory and just general kind of community for entrepreneurship, student entrepreneurship. Yeah. Speak to, kind of that experience, really.
Yeah, I mean, it was everything.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was everything. And I mean, it all scaled. It was, for example, these pitch competitions, you would see freshmen there, these pitch competitions, and seeing that firsthand, being in rooms where 18-year-olds are pitching a startup or an idea at the very least of it is just inspiring. Just being in rooms with like-minded fellows like that, like you said, being in that community rather than being on your own, you're able to see and learn from what other people like, what you like from them and what you don't like.
Yeah. One of our friends who runs one of the master's programs at the university kind of described it as almost starting a business with guardrails a little bit. While you're still a student, you're not out on your own, paying for your own stuff. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, but you don't have kids, you don't have bills, all this stuff. You're not saying, hey, I'm going to go all in with this, but you have that opportunity while you're still in school to say, hey, on the side, my classes are lax. I'm going to go work on this. And I'm going to use my professors in these introductions. I'm going to use these resources. And I'm just giving you props for like taking advantage of that and not just coasting,
Yeah.
The Startup Junkies podcast is brought to you in part by Arise. Arise helps Arkansas tech and tech-enabled startups grow with no-cost coaching, capital navigation, and expert connections so founders can scale faster. Learn more at arisearkansas.org.
I would say the U of A is good, and maybe I wasn't in the space early on, but yeah, definitely now there's starting to be like, we talked to the business incubator, they're doing a lot. I think learning from their successes and failures is so huge because, if they fail, they're going to tell you they failed and how we can improve from that, and we're going to tell them where we failed, and they're going to improve from that. So I think an environment is definitely good because you'll learn either way. So I think that's why it's huge that they're trying to, even not just at the U of A, I think Bentonville in general is starting to have a lot of startups, starting to have a lot of players here, and it doesn't help to have big companies here as well.
For sure,
and they're starting young. Like the Ignite program in Bentonville.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like some killers come out of that program. Like Peyton Woodruff. Like he's a killer. And coming out of Ignite, like immediately, he was like freshman pitching. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
That's legit.
The kid's generating revenue out of the gate. Like with some crazy ideas.
He's legit.
So I'm barely graduated college. These kids over here graduating with full-blown businesses.
We had some kids a couple weeks ago come in and do some prep for a pitch competition, and it was 2 9-year-old girls, and they had a flawless pitch.
Wow!
And we're just like, dude, what's going on? It's like I don't know what it is. I don't even know who's doing pitch competition for 9-year-olds, but they had a better pitch than I've seen at a lot of places. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
And I think speaking to that too, I think just as a general Northwest Arkansas ecosystem for entrepreneurship, I've been at Startup Junkie for 7 years now, and just from 2019 to 2026, like having seen just kind of an ecosystem of various resources continue to grow and build out what's available for an entrepreneur along their journey as a resource. I feel like we as an ecosystem have matured as a place for people to not just, the locals to be able to build, but people are looking at this region and saying, oh, I could start something there. Like that's a spot, especially if it pertains to CPG or supply chain. Like where else would you want to build that?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I think people will slowly start to realize it. I mean, we've had conversations. I mean, we've gone to San Francisco, we've gone to New York, and sometimes we still get the why Arkansas? Why are you there? I mean, I think, but over time, I think it's going to slowly but surely. I mean, if you're actually in the space, you definitely know about Bentonville and Arkansas, and I think we're just in the right position. I mean, especially in our like where we're trying to go. I think we've just been also pitching like, what does a company in London, San Francisco, Seattle know about supply chain? Because it's a lot of tech bros and in general trying to start up and trying to solve, but they don't actually know what they're trying to solve.
Yeah.
And I mean, we saw that the big example, Starbucks. I mean, a Seattle company, probably I looked up, the CEO's never worked at logistics. Most people haven't in those tech companies. And then, of course, they broke for those 14,000 stores that Starbucks rolled it out for their AI inventory tool. So, I mean...
Well, they were claiming 99% forecasting accuracy.
Really?
So that's I was immediately just kind of you should be turned down by that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a
impossible.
little too unrealistic. And their CEO's experience with logistics is getting to and from HQ on his private jet every day. And then I think, too, just like you see a lot of going back to like solutions in search of a problem in centers of traditional, venture ecosystems, and really they're kind of ventures being built for venture capital as opposed to ventures being built to solve real world problems. That's just my 2 cents.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, from going to San Francisco, we definitely saw certain startups who are just because they're funded, they're still functioning. Yeah. But in San Francisco, there's also startups that are killing it, and we learn from that.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have a good balance with Silicon Valley to learn from them. But for sure, we have the other side of the expertise, and they have the other side that we're just learning back and forth for sure.
I think it's similar to knowing when to take or turn aside good advice. It's just being able to balance what makes sense and what doesn't for you specifically. Because, a founder that's going to take every bit of advice to heart and apply it, not every bit of advice is going to be good advice. And it's not going to be applicable to you and what you're building 100% of the time. No chance. So just being able to parse through what's noise and what's real, it's similar to, kind of taking, examples from the Silicon Valley model of like, okay, they're building something that's legit. They're generating revenue. They have customers versus folks that exist because they have, VC or whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. Yeah.
Remind me, guys, when was the date you were founded?
I mean, we were technically founded around late May, technically with the restaurant idea, but we've only really been incorporated since January. I mean, because that's when we actually started we started our pilot runs, true, and then we started getting paid in March. So I think that's why we're still technically a new company.
Yeah.
Right.
So in the last, 6 months now?
Nice.
We've grown to 10 and now potentially 11 customers.
Wow.
So I think that's
Congratulations.
that's
great.
We're still growing, and we're in a phase where we're still figuring out some things, and then I think this next 3 quarters is where we're really going to take off. I think that's why doing stuff like this is why we're really excited to start growing.
What excites you coming up in the next couple quarters or the next couple years? Like what amps you up?
I think we're ready to scale. I think we're ready. Our technology is ready to take on bigger clients. We were making sure things were not breaking and things were working. And I think we have a really good case studies and things that we're going to take into bigger clients. And we're already getting warm intros. Even this week, we're going to get warm intros to some bigger companies. And we want to play with those bigger companies because, I think we're more capable than any other company. So I think that's why we've done the right things to get to this point.
Yeah, 100%. Like Homero said, kind of where we've been going right now is very like one-on-one. We're ready to scale to the masses and just help out anyone that is in need of this help.
A lot of entrepreneurship is building a plane while you're still flying it too. So just that awareness is important. And Tell me, Daniel asked what you were looking forward to. What keeps you up at night?
I would say no. I think I would say is for me at least. It's this is the time to build it. I mean, people say it's an AI bubble and things like that. So that definitely keeps you like this is the time. I mean, if you're on Instagram, LinkedIn, they're like this. If you're not building right now, you're missing out. It's kind of like a gold mine. So that's what keeps me up at night. Sometimes is are we doing enough?
Missing the boat.
Yeah. Are we not doing enough? Where could we do more?
Yeah.
So I think that's what, for me personally, keeps me up at night.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like the fact that I'm trying to become my own boss and I'm not yet,
Right.
kind of just doesn't sit right with me personally. And we talk about this all the time. Like that's just where we're headed, and we know we've been there since, like from an early age. We know that's kind of what we've always wanted. Since our experience has kind of come from like building something. Now that we're in this day and age of AI, and you're able to build something a lot quicker.
Right.
Now, necessarily doesn't mean you should build something like super rapidly, still build it with quality. And so it's, like Mer said, it's just the time. It's time.
Yeah.
So expand on that a little bit too. When you said, you want to be your own boss, but not yet. So you feel like you're your own boss yet, or just kind of like
Always like pitch yourself.
I got you.
I feel like at the end of the day, I'm ready for it to speak for itself.
I understand.
Yeah.
I got
And
you.
it's going to come.
Yeah, it's good. It'll be that way in the
I'm-
future.
Yeah, not in any rush, but
yeah.
at the same time, urgency.
Yeah, we talked to a founder yesterday, and she was telling us like baby steps is okay. You know, it's okay to move slow. People forget that the tortoise was the one that won the race. You know, and I told her that slow motion is better than no motion.
Yeah.
So
Come
you
on.
guys know where you're heading. You're gonna get there, but just continue to take those steps every day. Where do you guys see Foreko in 5 years from now?
I think there's a lot of ways we can. I mean, I mean, on the way to San Francisco, we were even like, I think a player we've been really trying to replace is, at least from our experiences, the SAP and the Oracles of the world, because they're so archaic, they're so slow. I mean, no one knows how to use them, even the experts don't. So getting to the point where we can replace such a complicated system and make it easy is kind of our goal, and they're $1 billion company. I mean, billions, really. So I think that's the big player where we can see where we can, if we dominate procurement, we will dominate a lot of different things as well. So I think that's where we could. I can't say we could raise money in 2 years and become a unicorn, or we could sell to and join a different company. So there's a lot of ways Foreko can go, but we're just excited. I think right now in the 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like open-minded and ready to build.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, like a year ago, I would have said the restaurants, were gone, but it just happens. You don't know. So, but I think where we at, and I feel way more confident of where we're going. So I think we're growing at a really good pace, but not too fast. I think that's what it's a really good balance.
I definitely see in the next 5 years Foreko being just the place for procurement to happen. Like right now, you're going to, if you're a vendor for Walmart, you're going to Scintilla to pull the data, and then you're going to SAP to pull your internal data, exporting it all to spreadsheets, sending it out on an email for the actual POs. I mean, that's 3 to 4, maybe 5, program systems that you have to run through, and this is someone's like livelihood, and they're doing this, every day, every week, every month. And I think at the end of the day, he'd much rather do it on Foreko on one platform where your data lives there. You have the internal and external data, and then push it out and ship it out as a PO like you normally would, just a click of a button.
Have y'all explored kind of the API integration with like your Claudes and your Perplexities and your chats and things like that? Because I know you look at now at the, say, Claude and Perplexity connectors. They've got all of these platforms and tools just like embedded as like, add, log in, and then you kind of integrate as a resource for that. If y'all looked into that, I'm not sure what that process
We
is like.
definitely have. It's been a good. It's definitely a hard balance because we're in my opinion we're dealing with such an important thing. Like procurement is very important. If we overstock someone and it's a commodity that expires, that business could lose a lot of money. So we're not to the point where like we're gonna connect to like we were yesterday and they were talking about using AI agents, and that even one person said that they have their forecasting done by an LLM, which is they could claim it's right, but from what we've seen, we haven't even got to that point because it still hallucinates at I mean, we have a specific forecasting model that is tailored towards just doing this, not an LLM that you put all your information
and
and
it's pulling from,
and it's And I mean, some large data sets of 5 years and then a rolling period of 2 years. I mean, that's a lot of data for an LLM to just handle and suggest orders. So I think the way we're doing it is keeping just to machine learning. And then for sure later on, maybe on the user interface to maybe interpret it data. But also we're trying to keep it super simple. Our main focus is we give a suggestion. This is how you have a, based off your lead time, based off your sales, you need to order 1,000 coffee beans, yes or no. That's kind of the point. So there hasn't been a point yet where maybe later on, I think what we've been thinking is maybe have an explanation more in depth with an AI summary. But for AIs to make decisions, no, not yet.
No, I mean, at the
Keep
end
the
of
main thing, the main thing.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we don't want to replace your procurement team, your supply chain team. We just want to enable them just to go into these negotiations, go into a line review at Walmart and have the real-time data, factual data at hand.
Well, you want to land the plane, Caleb?
Sure. So the way we land the plane on these episodes is we invite our guests to go back in time, since Foreko is still a relatively young company, so you don't have to go back too far. But you can go back before your entrepreneurial journey. You can go back to your initial first entrepreneurial journey at 18, whatever point in time you want to go back to, with all the accumulated knowledge that you have now and the experiences you've gained. What advice would you give your younger?
I could start us off. I think it kind of run clear in my head because I'm still doing this today, just catching up technically. Midway through my college career, I started accounting and switched to finance and switched to supply chain. This was all within the first semester, so I knew pretty quick. But
Pivoted quickly.
Midway through, and that's what you got to do.
Right.
Midway through, I also added information systems because I knew that's just where the future was headed. You can hire, let's just say you have two sets of people, one that knows supply chain, has no technical skills, one that knows supply chain, maybe not as well, but does have the technical skills. And now in this day and age, it's really about knowing how to prompt an LLM. You don't have to be super technical as long as you're not like in a CS role, really. So I think earlier on, I'd want to, really harp on the fact that, just devote some time to think about these things and learn that skill set.
Pretty good advice.
I think for me, I watched Mark Zuckerberg's Harvard's commencement speech, and he was just start. I mean, he was like, I didn't think Facebook was going to be big, or I can't get a bunch of people to do something, but he said just start, and I resonated that because that would be something I would tell my younger self, just do it, just do anything activity. I think with anything, it doesn't have to be entrepreneur, just do it because you might regret it, and I think, but sometimes when you just start doing it, no one knows what you're going to do. I mean, we started with restaurants. We didn't even barely had an idea, and we just kept going, and then it transformed to CPGs, and probably in 6 months we'll be more knowledgeable about something and go even deeper into it. So I think, I would say just start is my
Stop
biggest,
waiting. And get after it.
100%.
The most effective way to do something is to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's that simple.
Shout out Phil Nye.
Well, if any of our listeners want to learn more about you guys or more about the Foreko product, where should they go?
Yeah, they should go to foreko.app if they want to book a demo, if they're CPG, e-commerce, franchisee. I mean, we can really do anything in terms of if you have a physical good and you're buying and ordering it for your company, we can handle that. I mean, and we can build pretty fast. And so I think that's what we do. And then on socials, we're just Foreko AI on everything, LinkedIn, Instagram. So definitely reach us on that.
Actually, Foreko AI was taken on YouTube. Just created the YouTube channel, so it is Foreko Forecasts.
Okay. All right.
Stay tuned.
Sweet. Well, we'll make sure to link all those in the show notes of this episode. But thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
Awesome.
no, appreciate it.
Great conversation.
Thanks y'all for inviting us.
Of course. And thank you to the audience for following the Startup Junkies podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and
Leave
Apple.
us a review. It helps.
And leave us a review.
5 stars. You don't have to say anything. I say I'd give you a caption.
Leave 5 stars.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share with a friend. Subscribe and review because it matters to us and we want to hear from you. If you're interested in learning how to work with us, check out the information below. See you next week.